Hey folks, Wish SE up here in New Hampshire. I'm doing a video today at the request of a subscriber who was interested in really learning about how do you press out, find that front sight and stay focused on the front sight to be able to shoot faster and accurately. So if you like this video or any of the videos that we do, I'd ask that you click the thumbs up icon in the bottom left of your screen, share with your friends and family. We'd love to have them join the channel. So, we all know that the fundamentals of accuracy are really dependent on these few components. The first one is identifying your front sight, keeping it in alignment on the same plane as the rear sight, and then as you press the trigger, you do not disturb the sight by pressing the trigger straight back. So you can spend a lot of time practicing simply see the front sight and the target. As you press out, identify the front sight, align the front sight, and then you can press your shot. It sounds simple, but it takes a lot of practice. As you press out from a high ready position, I see the sight. As I drive the gun toward the target, I identify the front sight. I see that it's in alignment with my rear sights, same plane, right? And then I can press my shot. When I press my shot, I want to press the trigger straight back along the axis of the bore. At the same time, you've heard me talk about this many times, we also want to reset the trigger. So what I mean by that is I pressed a shot, the gun cycles back the next round, and I slowly release the trigger out. I don't do this. Let the trigger out and slap it back again, okay? That simple act of resetting the trigger will make a huge difference in your accuracy. As the gun cycles, I reset the trigger, so my finger's on the trigger as the trigger reset, and it's only coming out a very short distance. Again, as long as my sights are aligned and I don't disturb the sight alignment, that's going to help my accuracy. The next thing, of course, is what's my stance. Now, many of you, there's a lot of pros and cons to Weaver versus isosceles. Because of my handicap, I shoot kind of a weird stance. So my body's slightly forward toward the target. I press out, I see my front sight, I press the shot. So stable platform, I'm not vertical. I see a lot of guys do this. They're straight up and down. Their backs are straight, and they're doing this, and they're getting a lot of recoil. If your body's slightly forward, when you press out and your gun recoils, you're going to be able to see that front sight faster. Identifying the front sight is made easier if you go with something like this, which is a high vis on black in the rear. So that high vis sight there allows you to pick it up. You're seeing that sight as you're pressing out. Now for me, I like green, other people like red. Anyway, let's do a few of these drills and you can get some sense of what this is like. Short distances, nice and slow and smooth, high ready, we press out, press our shot, ride the reset, re-prep the trigger. Let's take a look. Gun is at a high ready. As I press out, I align my rear sight, I press a shot. Then from holster, I'm doing the same thing. Come up, press out, see that front sight. Come up, press out, see the front sight, press a shot. Come out, front sight, press a shot. So when we do that, we're putting them all in there for 3 yards away, which means when we transition to our steel, I come up, see the front sight, press my shot. Again, gun is at a high ready as I make the presentation. As I'm driving toward the target, one of the drills that's really helpful is, again, 3 yards, we've got a circle out there, is simply to do press outs from a high ready. So from a high ready, again, I'm slightly forward. I've got a good grip on my gun. Nice fighting grip. I press the gun out. As I do, I see the front sight and I press a shot. Just out, press. And there you have it. So again, up, seeing the front sight, pressing it out. All from a high ready. Now, you can also practice the same drill from a low ready position. So you can come up this way, find your front sight, press the shot. Find the front sight, press the shot. Front sight, press the shot. Okay, it doesn't matter. But for most people, what they're looking to do is they come out of holster quickly. They want to pick up the front sight, and then they're going to go through whatever firing sequence they're going to do. If you stay focused on the front sight, that means that you'll be able to get hits at distance, particularly on steel and things, when you're moving versus looking at the target. So let's take a look at the press outs I was just doing from a high ready right up here. And as you can see, kind of, we're all in the same hole here, not perfectly in the center. But again, I'm just pressing out. I'm 3 yards away. I'm just pressing, driving the gun forward. And as I drive the gun forward from a high ready position, I'm picking up the front sights, making sure they're level and they're between the rear notch. I'm seeing the high vis green bright dot there. Once everything's ready to go, I'm prepping my trigger and pressing the shot. So that's really it. That's what it looks like. And that's all about trigger control and sight alignment and managing to keep the gun in alignment. Again, my stance, I'm aggressive, I'm forward, I'm trying to be as stable as I can. So sight alignment, trigger press, grip, stance, you got to combine those 4 elements to really make it happen. If you do, you can get hits on target quickly and effectively from holster as you come out. The key is find that front sight before you press a shot. Your sights need to be aligned. Once your sights are aligned, you begin to work the trigger back and press your shot off. Let's do a drill at steel at distance, and I'll try to show you what that looks like as well. So down there at 25 yards, we have our hanging steel plate. It's 12 inches in diameter. Same thing. I'm doing exactly the same thing. Pressing out, finding the front sight, and pressing a shot, right? The key here is not to move the front sight once it's aligned. So really that's all there is to it. Practice, practice, practice. Well, folks, that's a very brief description of, shooting for accuracy as well as shooting a little bit faster. Again, I'm an average shooter at best. There are many of you who shoot far better than I do. But what I'm trying to do every time is be consistent in terms of finding the front sight, having a good grip, good stance, pressing my trigger straight back while keeping my sights aligned. If you can keep your sights aligned, press your trigger straight back, you're pretty much going to hit where you're aiming every time. That's all about trigger press, all about sight alignment, and not disturbing that sight alignment through the trigger press process. I hope this video helps, and shout out to the subscriber who asked for this. That's great feedback for us, and really appreciate that subscriber asking us to give our perspective on that. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay safe.